Daily Compliance News for September 16, 2025, the end of quarterly reporting edition. This is Tom Fox, and I'd like to welcome you to the Daily Compliance News. The Daily Compliance News is the only daily podcast which curates 4 top compliance, ethics, and/or corruption stories for your listening and viewing pleasure if you're watching this on YouTube. Donald Trump continues his quixotic quest to move from quarterly reporting to semi-annual reporting of U.S. public companies. Having been in the corporate world and understand the pressure everyone is on at the end of every quarter, believe me, I am for that, although others, including my friend Matt Kelly, believe we need quarterly reporting to keep companies at least giving us some information. Next up from Reuters, President Marcos of the Philippines says no one will be spared in the infrastructure corruption probe into alleged anomalies. He vowed to rebuild public trust as protests over corruption loomed. He says the graft-weary public is at an inflection point on how the government operates and how it spends funds. This comes after a report that over $70 billion, or 70% rather, and nearly $10 billion was stolen from flood control projects. Next up, I asked the question, will CITGO ever be sold? And the answer is maybe, as a long-awaited sale is expected to complete a U.S. court-ordered reorganization auction of shares of the parent of CITGO. That, of course, is PDVSA. So PDVSA lost CITGO because, in addition to being the most corrupt energy company on earth, they didn't pay their creditors. And so a bunch of them said, you have to give us your assets, and one of those assets in the United States was CITGO. So the Delaware court is hearing testimony from the involved parties and experts in a 4-day showdown to select a winner. Another set of arguments could be presented if the court decides it needs more time or more evidence. So at stake is the future of the 7th largest refiner in the United States. And finally, from the Financial Times, it reports that Donald Trump has signaled that Washington and Beijing have struck a deal on the future of the Chinese-owned social media platform TikTok. Trump wrote in Truth Social that things had gone very well in trade negotiations in Madrid. And in an apparent reference to TikTok, he said, quote, a deal was also reached on a certain company that young people in our country very much wanted to save. They will be very happy, end quote. So if you're a TikToker, this is probably good news. It's going to be interesting to see if China met the requirements for true transfer of IP if there's a sale, but no information on that as yet. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.